sounded like, because he was saying something like, yeah, we should just walk down the streets of New York like this. And he has like these mirror, like these huge like Nikes that just have like square mirrors pasted all over them. And Jimmy does, with the big Superman jersey on.
Show chat.
And he's like, we should walk down New York. Let me buy you a drink. And he goes, oh wait, you don't drink. He's like, yeah, no,
At all?
I don't drink. That's what it sounded like. I think that he's so into being like the next top basketball guy that
You better.
Well, so he's totally into it. He's taking his his trainers everywhere.
All right, here we go.
Can I just get over there without being in the camera? Because I don't want to be in the camera.
All right, let's see here. How's it going, everybody? Maurice, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me again. I need to turn my volume off here. Hey, how do I show the Maurice? How do I show the questions on my thing? I see it on the one I popped up, but let me see here. Social stream. Is that what I put? Oh, okay. So I have to go on the site. All right, cool. All right, well, I'm on there. Here we go. All right. Hey, someone on the last show asked, "What is up with wakeboard, wakeboarders and little dogs? Status among wakeboarders is so cute." Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. This is my little dog Zeppelin. He's a cool little dog. He's a little crazy. This is my other dog, though. Taj, come here. So you guys jealous? And then we got a 90-pound pit bull in the backyard. That's my roommate, Drew McGuckin. You guys probably know Drew McGuckin. Did I happen to go hit up Brostock? I didn't get to go to Brostock. Yeah, for sure. Called. Here, let me call him right now. I'll tell him to come in here. Let's see here. Drew McGuckin. He lives in the back house. Cheers. Let's see, Karen's on here. So what have you been doing lately? Ah, man, I've been shooting so much. Hey, I was just calling you. Everybody wants to say hi to you. Everybody on Stokemeter. Sit down. Everybody asks questions. Sit down.
Say hi. They want to see the phone.
He doesn't want to hang out. Come here. Hey, where's Capone?
He's laying in my bed.
Oh, he's being lazy. Yeah, I took all the pictures back here. The little collage I put together. What's up, dude?
Bring my light in here?
Yeah, I'm on Stokemeter. Come here. Say hi to everybody.
Huh?
Say hi to everybody. Here, I got another guest. Here, go on this side. Guys, this is Ryan Wolf. He's a ex-pro wakeboarder and he's a judge on the Pro Tour. What up, everybody? Let's see here. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it. Yeah, the sleeper is Maurice on there.
Nice, Maurice. That's awesome.
Let's see here. Who do you ride for nowadays?
Ride for? Myself. Yeah.
They asked if the pictures are taken by you.
Yep, yeah. All the pictures are up there are mine. Let's see, Aaron. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Karen, you're the most stylish riders. Nice, you got a fan.
Nice, very cool, thanks. Back in the day.
Still remember the red Joby with the wolf on it. That's awesome. That was a good board. Hey, I went to Hong Kong last year, and we were in the middle of nowhere, this crazy spot in the middle of nowhere, and there was this old Joby Ryan Wolf wakeboard laying there in the corner of this shop that looked like it had been used like 400 times. Still had it still had where the boots were, like that part was red. Everything else was like sun baked. Everything else was just pretty much trashed. It was awesome. It was awesome to go halfway across the world and see one of Ryan Wolf's wakeboards there. From 97?
98. 99.
99?
99 was the first year the Pro model came out.
Let's see here. Larry, you're still hitting the tour with Patterson's old rig.
Nope, definitely not hitting the tour with Patterson's old rig anymore, that's for sure.
Too old for that shit, man.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen wakeboarding? I don't know.
What about Amsterdam?
Oh, craziest thing I've ever seen wakeboarding. So get this. Jerry Nunn and I fly to Amsterdam, or we fly to Europe for a month to go do the European tour. We had just gotten our new pro models from Joby. He got his and I got mine, and we were in Amsterdam, and there's a little cable thing going on, and we were riding the cable, and I was never too savvy at the cable, so I did a couple rounds and I was pretty much done, and Jerry's out there putting a clinic on for everybody, and he comes around and he's like, "Hey Wolf, let me try out your new pro model." I'm like, "Yeah man, give it a go, give it a shot and go take it for a spin." First time around, comes around the fourth turn where the dock is and does a railie to blind, pops the handle, and this is back when Jerry had super long hair, and is heading straight for the dock, like at 30 miles an hour with his hair all on his face, and he's looking backwards. He's coming straight for me, and I'm standing there right in the stair railing, and he hits the dock with his face going 30 miles an hour, broke his jaw, ruptured his eardrum, just messed himself up really bad, lands on his back face up right at my feet, and is like going in convulsions, and they call the ambulance, and Jerry's like freaking out, wondering what happened, what's going on, and as soon as he came to and like realized that he was okay, they called the ambulance and told him not to come because they didn't want to scare off the rest of the guests, of the people trying to wakeboard at the cable. That was pretty crazy. That's probably the craziest thing I've ever seen wakeboarding. Jerry hitting the dock with his face going about 30 miles an hour.
Breaking his jaw.
Yeah.
And he had his jaw wired shut for the next 4 or 5 weeks. And every time he wakeboarded, he would have to carry wire clippers just in case he knocked himself out or something. We'd have to clip the wires. We had to give him mouth-to-mouth, or he threw up, or it was crazy. He looked like the Bionic Man. Let's see. So do you have any favorite riders? Who's your favorite rider right now? He might not be able to answer this question because he's a judge in the Pro Tour, but who's got the best style on the tour right now?
I mean, obviously you can't.
Who do you prefer?
You can't.
Whose style do you prefer?
Hold down Watson's style, but
Yeah.
JD Webb has an amazing style. JD goes huge, pokes everything, does stuff unique, grabs things a little bit different than other people grab. Jimmy LaRich has a cool style going. Also, JD on the rails, there's definitely a reason why he was Rail Rider of the Year, because he just dominates the rails. It's unbelievable to watch him ride the rails.
We got to go see the new Hyperlife film rewritten last night, and JD on the rails were just insane. He's absolutely unbelievable on them.
Dean Smith has a great style. I like Dean's style. Dean and Wisconsin did probably one of the gnarliest cuts at the kicker I've ever seen, and did an Indy Tantrum backside 3, and everybody, it was probably the coolest trick of the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Everybody was freaking out.
He was big.
We were all on the boat, and honestly, we see 1 million people ride all weekend, all day long, and that trick definitely stood out in my head as one of the dopest tricks that went down for the weekend.
That's cool. Here, there's a good question back here. Okay, I have to ask, what is the name Sleeper about? What movie is that from?
Is that Jack Blodgett?
No, that's the toughest trick you've ever landed. Jack. It probably is Jack Blodgett. Is that Jack Blodgett? We'll see. We'll know if it's Jack when we have some really weird questions.
Well, if you have to know what the name Sleeper is all about, is I did a reef trip down to Argentina, and I did a reef trip down to Argentina. We were down there shooting for Ron Seidengland's movie Natural Born Thrillers, and I was down there with Kobe and Bish and Billy McKee and Charlie Patterson, and it was right about the time I actually had my 21st birthday down in Argentina that year.
That's a good story.
But that's another good story. But anyway, when I got down there with the whole crew of guys, I was really quiet, really reserved, and like just wasn't. I mean, I was just being to myself, whatever.
He was young. He was barely 21.
But as soon as the guys took me out of the town and got some drinks in me and loosened me up a little bit, I totally turned into a totally different person, and pretty much tore up the dance floor every place we went. And Kobe had pretty much named me the Sleeper after that trip.
Let's see here. I heard you're a pro hopeful sometimes. Is that true? Yeah, I had there was a little stint there for about 2 years where I tried to wakeboard on the pro tour, and my body couldn't handle it. It just wasn't didn't work out. Who are the women going largest, and how about men? Randall, Lyman, Nicola. I want to know.
Randall and Lyman are definitely two of the guys that go bigger than anybody on every single trick. It's nonstop. Like, I've never seen those guys even take just a normal set behind the boat and not go big. I mean, every set they do, they're going in the flats virtually every trick. I've never seen Randall go wake to wake, just riding at home, riding, out for fun. I mean, every time he hits the wake, it's out in the flats.
Let's see here.
Yes, my sister did marry Greg Necrason. He's my brother-in-law. It's the craziest thing ever.
He's a man.
But he's very cool. Yeah, he's awesome.
Let's see here. Do you consider JD the best rail rider? He's one of the best. Top 5 in the world, definitely.
I definitely consider JD one of the best rail riders in the world.
Yeah. What are the things you do besides wakeboarding? Ryan films a lot. I wakeboard a lot. Dog just turned off the light. What's up, buddy? Let's see here. Do you folks have families? Of course we have families. And they love us.
I don't have any kids or anything.
Oh, no.
I'm not married. I'm single. I'm not married, and I don't have kids, that's for sure.
Definitely not. No kids, no wives. Whatever happened to the Micker?
The Micker's still alive and
Dude,
well.
he's the man.
I played basketball at the gym with Micker today. He's the man. He still goes out and kills it, does lessons at OWC every single day, and doing really well. I mean, the Micker, he's a legend.
Yeah, he can go out there and do a back mob, switch mob, the coolest front flip and toe side front flip you've ever seen. Jeremy, what gets you stoked the most in wakeboarding? Wow.
I mean, what gets you stoked the most in wakeboarding is just going out and having a stellar set, early, rising, glassy, and hitting a new trick. I mean, just being out on the boat with your friends gets me stoked out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, just being out there with your boys. And it's always fun and exciting to be out there when somebody lands a new trick, but it doesn't happen every day, so you got to stay stoked on it. And we go out every day and we get to hang out with our friends and live that lifestyle, so...
Randall's section and transgression is so nuts. It is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But I personally think his section and drive was a little bit, just a little bit more kosher. Only because he had been riding for a while before his section and drive, where his riding and transgression he had been out for 2 years, I guess, or something like that. So coming back, he was a little rusty, but it was so cool to see that transition. Of him just getting back, after taking such time off and really progressing as fast as he did. But I think his section and drive is insane.
Lisa asked about the politics in wakeboarding. What's your take on it? There's politics in everything. I mean, it's an industry, it's a business, and people make money doing it. So there's going to be a political aspect to it, and some people give into it. Everybody gives into it. Everybody's got a little bit of a political side to them, but I mean, we try to. I think Ryan and I both stay pretty true to our core, and we're in it because we love wakeboarding, and all of our best friends are in wakeboarding, and that's our life pretty much. So, I mean, you're going to deal with that political aspect of it, and especially being a judge, he's got to deal with these guys every day, every weekend at the tour stop. But I think they do their best. I don't know. The judges do their bst to be impartial.
Unbiased. Yeah.
Let's see here. What do you think about all the new board companies coming out?
Company Wake is insane. I think that they got a great product, a great marketing, strategy. I think that their ads are some of the coolest ads out there right now. The look of their stuff is really, really cool. I really hope Justin does well with Company. I really hope they do well.
It takes balls to start a wakeboarding company in this day and this age, especially during a recession. So, hopefully when we come out of it, they'll come out on top.
Yeah, I think Aaron did an aqua dump this morning.
Wait, who asked that?
Lisa.
Oh. I didn't. I didn't.
I thought you were.
I'm not against him. I'm actually for him. I don't think that's a big deal. We spend 8 hours a day on the boat sometimes, so some people have to do them, Another night.
What kind of wakeboards would you recommend for an intermediate rider? The 1999 Wolf Pro model. Pretty sweet. See if you can go find one online on eBay somewhere.
Hey, and the Micker will definitely do a Legends show for sure, Maurice. We'll get him on there next week. Seriously, he would love to do this. Let's see here.
A freestyle format competition, it's basically what the competition style is right now. It is a freestyle format. I mean, they have 2 passes to do whatever they want to do. There's no set run. It is kind of a freestyle format. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, they used to have the reason the freestyle came out back in the day is because every trick had a point value. So then they did a freestyle competition where you could just go out and do whatever. But I think as the sport progressed, everything basically turned into a freestyle competition. So guys like Randall and Lyman as well as Colin go for it in their type of environment. Oh, so you're asking. Well, I mean, the thing is any sort of competition, if you have enough guys in it, you have to have some sort of time limit. You have to have some sort of structure. There are random competitions where you go out and have like a rider's judge freestyle, or I don't know, where everybody just goes out and rides, and the best rider. I don't think there is any competition like that.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to structure a competition like that.
Yeah, definitely. What are some of the most technical advancements you've seen in wakeboarding? As far as riding goes, or as far as boards and stuff
boards
go?
Probably.
Boards?
How about that thing we just saw? We just did a podcast for it.
Oh, yeah. If you guys have seen the ads in the magazines about the shadow box, Aaron and I just went out to Rusty's house and shot a podcast and on this new thing called the shadow box. It's like a little digital box that mounts right to your board, and it pretty much gives you all the calculations of your run, the height that you go, the distance traveled, the velocity, and your spin, the G's that you pull in your spin, all the technical things that,
It's basically a GPS device that it just does all the things he says. It'll actually measure the angle of your board when you hit the wake, and you take it off, you mount it to your board. When you get back to your computer, you plug it into your computer, and it'll map your whole ride. And it's going to be great for people who are designing boards, people who are trying to sell boards. There's a bunch of applications for it. You guys really got to go check out what's called Shadow Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an HO device. Hyperlight owns it, and they'll be producing it, and you'll be able to buy it. I think the retail price on it in the beginning is going to be like $3.99, but it's going to be pretty cool. It's a really cool device, and it's one of probably the most technical progression wakeboarding's seen in a long time.
There are definitely movie stars that wakeboard, and I actually got a chance to ride with Tommy Lee back in the day. Really, really cool dude. And I also got a chance to ride with Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. Really, really cool dude.
Yeah.
Really cool. Actually, a really good wakeboarder. Mark Palgosler could do crows and back rolls and tantrums and front rolls back in the day. Like
That was back in the day,
He
too.
was really into it. Really into it.
There's Capone's.
Oh, here's the pit bull. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Oof. Come here. Yeah.
McGuckin, did you get on here?
He's too big. McGuckin doesn't want to get on.
Too big.
Alright, what's the next question here? What type of wakeboard would you recommend for women in a particular brand?
Liquid Force has a really cool women's brand. I like.
Yeah.
I like
Maven?
the Liquid Force, the Maven brand. Yeah.
Any board, like there's the only difference between guys' wakeboards and women's wakeboards are usually the graphics. But go into your local shop and whoever's in there will probably be able to pick out a good one for you.
You know, the new Nautique boats have come so far in recent years. Like, their stuff looks so good. The quality is top notch. Obviously, I would say the top three are Nautique's, Malibu, Mastercraft. In my eyes, I mean, you can't really go wrong with either one of those boats. But I really think the Nautiques have come so far in just the way that they look, handle, you know, the quality aspect, the things, the little innovation things that they're trying to do, and Aaron and I have done a lot of work with them and seen a lot of kind of the R&D things that they, you know, are planning for the future, and nobody's even close to them right now. Nobody's even close. It's really, really cool.
And it's got a lot to do with the effort that they put into it and the amount of effort they're putting into it right now during the recession, when not a lot of other boat companies are even producing boats. These guys are still innovating and creating new boats. They just came out with a new water ski boat, which for wakeboarders isn't that big of a deal, but when you see the amount of progression that went into this boat, crossover into some of the wakeboarding boats, it's gonna be a big jump for everybody. So let's see here. You guys have been in the business quite a while. What are some of the highlights in your wakeboard lifetime? I think the highlight of mine was when we did the tour together for 2 years.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. When we did the bus tour together for a couple of years, that was some of the most fun I've had. Got to see the country in a whole different aspect.
Don't know what it is.
Huh?
They probably don't know what it is.
If you guys don't know, we used to do a marketing bus tour where we had a tour bus, and we just basically we had a boat sponsor, and we drove around the country and did clinics and met the most amazing people that were into wakeboarding and got to experience America, which not a lot of people get to do like we did. We literally drove a bus around the country twice. It was crazy.
Really cool.
Yeah, and
really cool experience.
The most amazing people, rode in the coolest places. We rode in this place called Lake Almanor in Northern California with Daniel Dowd, and it was one of the most amazing places I've ever been to.
Met some lifelong friends on the road. Made some lifelong friends. Just a great time.
Yeah. Let's see here. If Hyperlight owns Shadowbox. Yeah, I think Shadowbox is going to be a pretty universal thing. I think Hyperlight found it first, and they basically bought it out. I'm not really sure how it worked out, but it's going to be something that every board company is going to use to design their wakeboards. Every board shop's going to use to test their wakeboards and sell wakeboards. It's gonna be, you're gonna be able to quantify everything we've been talking about for a long time. Basically, the edge you get on each board, the amount of impact you get when you land. You're gonna be able to measure that now, instead of just by feeling like, oh, that board lands a little bit harder than this one, or that board's faster than this one. Now, when you put that thing on a board, you go out and you carve into the wake, and it's faster and it gets better pop, and you land harder. You're going to know all that. It's going to be measured. So I think everybody's going to use it. I don't think it's just going to be a Hyperlight thing. But, Hyperlight definitely is going to have the advantage.
And not just wakeboarders are going to use it. I think all action sports are going to, have access to it, and probably, really see some advancements and other sports using that that
For
type
sure.
of measurements and stuff, and it's really really cool. Really cool device.
I mean, you think about water ski jumping. That's probably gonna be another advancement there. Even motocross, how high those guys go, in Parks' double or nothing contests. I mean, now they have, instead of counting frames on a camera, they'll be able to actually tell how high you went or how long you were in the air.
When we were using it the other day at Rusty's house, he busted a 23-foot high 1080.
Yeah.
That
Insane.
it was insane. Like, it was really really cool to see the measurements after him going so big off the double up, to see actually how high he really was.
Yeah. Some people, they say, oh, it was like 25 feet in the air, and Rusty.
Or some people are like, there's no way that was more than 10 feet.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way that was more than 10, 15 feet.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it was 23 feet.
His board was 23 feet in the air.
23 feet in there, yeah. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. Let's see here. Which state has the coolest people or most excited about wakeboarding? Besides Florida? Probably Texas.
Texas, Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
Um,
California's pretty big. There's a lot of wakeboarders out there, but there's not a lot of good places to wakeboard.
where else do we go on the road?
Man, Colorado was pretty
Portland has a pretty cool fan base in Portland.
good. All along the West Coast is pretty good. Texas, though, probably has the most spots outside of Florida. Let's see here. May be a strange question, but whatever happened to Eric Perez? The reasons I got into wakeboarding and then he disappeared off the face of the earth. Well, he broke his neck, man. Perez, didn't he break his neck?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think he broke his neck and was in a halo for a year or so, and I'm not really sure the whole thing, but he was
in the industry for a while.
Yeah.
He was an industry guy for a while after his riding career, and he did a number of things for Hyperlight and a couple other companies, and then I haven't seen him around in a while, so I have no idea what the guy's up to.
Let's see. How is wakeboarding marketed? It seems like it's still in its infancy. Man, wakeboarding, in the whole scheme of things, it's been around for a little while, but when you compare it to sports like snowboarding, we're where snowboarding was about 20 years ago. We've gone through a couple ups and downs. We've gone through a boom, and you always go through that initial phase where it's a new sport and everybody kind of hops on the bandwagon. But now I think we're starting to see a true progression of wakeboarding where all the spins have been done. You know, Danny did a 1280. I don't see 1260, and I don't see people doing anything much bigger than that. But now it's a progression. It's a progression of style, and it's a progression of the attitude of wakeboarding. Now it's going to be real. Like what you saw happen to snowboarding 20 years ago, you're going to see what's going to happen to wakeboarding now. 23 feet high, yeah, that's pretty freaking high. How did he not blow his knees out?
Because he's Canadian.
Who knows how Rusty's still standing, because he rides like 5 times a day and he hits about 50 double ups a day. It's the only guy in the world that does that. Utah's
got a pretty decent wakeboard population as well. They're pretty on it. I've been out on Lake Utah during one of their crazy holidays and just mad people everywhere.
Yeah. Utah's a good time all around. Yeah, I don't know what Perez is doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure. I don't know if he broke his neck. I can't really quote
That's
us
what
on
I
that
remember happening.
Can't really quote us on that. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Who knows where he is now?
Yeah. What would you tell someone getting into the business, wanting to go pro?
Whew. Ride every local contest you can ride. Ride every contest you can ride. Do a lot for your local shops and support them, and eventually you'll get noticed. Stick with it. Yeah. Ride hard. Get to know everybody in your local community that rides, and really just push yourself as much as you can. And eventually you'll probably get there. The competition's definitely a lot stiffer these days than it was back in the day.
Yeah. These kids are so good these days. Kids like Jimmy LaRich and Robert Sovin and Harley Clifford and Rusty and Phillip. I mean, these kids are going to be tough for anybody to beat.
The economy is definitely affecting the industry. I mean, the boat sales are really struggling right now. So it's tough for the industry to grow, and the boat sales are down, and the board sales are down, and everybody's kind of hunkering down. But I think if these guys can weather the storm,
Yeah.
it'll be a positive thing in the future for sure.
It's a big correction. Once we all come out of this, the the true players are going to come out on top. So
I've never rode in New Zealand.
I've never been there either. I really want to go. I'd
do too.
love to go. A lot of good friends from New Zealand. A lot of good friends from Australia. So hopefully we'll get a chance to go there.
Bring the most people out to the event. Man, I'm really bummed that we didn't go back to Atlanta this year, because Atlanta
was good stuff.
was really growing, and like they have a huge beach there at their site where we ride at. There's a huge beach, and it's just a really, really cool event. Now that's a pro tour stop with just wakeboarding there, that brings a lot of people. But Kelowna tour stop was combined with motocross, live bands. There was a whole festival thing going on there, and that probably brought the most people I've ever seen at one wakeboard event.
Yeah, that's the cool part about action sports is there's
Wakestock.
so many crossover events.
Wakestock, yeah, I mean that it combines skateboarding, motocross, and live bands, and that stuff really brings a lot of people. But as far as just wakeboarding goes, the Atlanta tour stop was
Probably the
lot
best,
of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Let's see here. Brostock was impressive, but I remember when Lyman rode before 100,000 people at some racetrack.
Oh wow.
There's a lot of racetracks that have lakes in the middle, and it's been kind of a good thing for wakeboarding because we can bring boats in and ride in the center of the track. But it's happened a bunch. I mean, we've been doing it since '96. I think they've been bringing wakeboarders out to the track. Let's see. Saw Robert at Brostock. Think he's better than Phil. If you ask Robert, he would say yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Phil's the best wake rider in the world. He can do things off the wake that nobody else can. He's just a talented dude. Bob's going to give him a run for his money. Bob's going to give everybody a run for his money. He's young.
Yeah, he's killing it right now.
Talented kid, and he's funny. He's a lot of fun to be around. But if you ask Bob, he's better than Phil. If you ask Phil, he's better than Bob. So. What are the craziest wakeboarders? Canada, Australia?
There's a toss up.
No comments.
Yes.
We don't want to get beat up by either of them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Who are some people that we should be looking out for? Be getting attention in the mag. Man, Harley Clifford and Bob and Jimmy and who else? I mean, those guys are getting a lot of exposure, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think there's anybody out there right now that.
No, there is. There's definitely some kids out there that are killing it that don't get the exposure, but
Well, there are guys that are riding the cable like Nick Davies.
That's true.
Who are insane. That if they rode behind the boat all the time, they'd probably be the best wakeboarder in the world. But they're cable riders. But
totally different style, man.
yeah, it's totally different things.
Different.
There's a lot of cables up and coming, and there's a lot more cables popping up everywhere. And the thing that the cables do is they offer a lot of people who don't have access to a boat or a big lake the opportunity to wakeboard all the time, every day, like a skate park. So I don't know. I think you might want to look for some up and coming cable riders. The wake scene's pretty established, and there's a established tour and sub tours that you're gonna know who's coming up. So
Where we at?
do you still ride? If you are, what types of tricks are you throwing?
I busted a cab 9 the other day, switch toe 10, an Olay 720. No.
Did you see my 1260?
Yeah. I definitely don't ride as much as I used to, that's for sure. But, for me, it's almost like riding a bike. If I were to spend, seriously, a month riding, straight, solid, I could probably do everything that I've ever been able to do.
Hey, wait, who asked that question before? Who are some people that we should be looking out for? Ryan Wolf.
Huh? Yeah, I'm making a comeback.
He's coming back.
Making a comeback. They have this new knee surgery. It's like this bionic knee injection, I heard it's supposed to make me jump 10 feet higher.
Let's see here. Do we ever give clinics? We used
Yeah,
to. Yeah.
we do. If you
Yeah.
want to do some clinics, come down here. We'll take you out and show you
Yeah.
the ropes for sure.
Email us. No worries. Have
I've
you
never seen the Urban Rider.
Yeah, that's the.
Oh, what is that?
That's the winch that we use to.
Oh
pull
yeah.
jack.
Oh, that's the Urban
Dude,
Rider.
yeah, those are the most legit winches I've seen. Those things are badass. Like they're the best made winches. They're on it. Like you crank them up and give them a go in there, and
Those
they
things
don't
are
miss a
legit.
beat. Yeah, they're the best
Super
looking
legit.
winches I've ever seen. So craziest winch I've ever seen. Yeah, seriously, the best winches we've ever seen. So, and winching's a whole nother part. You know, there's cable and there's winching now. Winching's, turning wakeboarding into skateboarding. So.
Cable contest? Yeah, there's definitely cable contest. There was just one
All over
2
the
weekends
place.
ago in Orlando.
Yeah.
OWC.
Seems like it would be more cost beneficial. Yeah, that's the trick, man, because the demographic for wakeboarding, still 90% of wakeboarding happens behind a boat on a lake, but not a lot of people can afford that. So I think that's going to be the biggest growth we see in the future are jet skis, winches, and cable parks.
I'd want to visit New Zealand or Ibiza.
Yeah, definitely anywhere in Spain would be cool. Ibiza, Australia. I really want to go to Australia and New Zealand. Who's your favorite riders to shoot? Oh, man. That's tough. There's so many good ones. Man, I shoot with Rusty all the time. I shoot with Chad all the time. Those guys are really easy to shoot with the setups they have. The trick with shooting wakeboarders is getting up out of bed in the morning and them having everything set up, get ready to go in the morning. So two of the easiest guys to do that with are probably Chad and Rusty and Watson, the whole Hiawassee crew, the whole Claremont crew. JD Webb is probably one of my favorite guys to shoot with because even when he's having a bad set, he still kills it and we still get good photos.
Murray.
Yeah, Murray's amazing. Murray can still make a Rayleigh look cool. He's the only guy in the whole world that can make a Rayleigh still look cool. We saw the movie last night, the new Hyperlight film, and he did the coolest Rayleigh I've ever seen. And that not a lot of people
we
can
saw
say that.
Rewritten last night, by the way, the new Hyperlight video.
Awesome.
Insane.
Awesome.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
I just did a Nautique podcast with Jeff McKee last week, and it should be up on nautiques.com here any day now. Probably one of the most class act guys to do a photo shoot with ever.
Yeah.
Really, really easy to shoot with.
Went out of his way to get everything.
Went out of his way. Just super, super good.
Yeah.
And, interviewing and everything. Just really, 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 really good guy to be around.
Solid dude. Really easy guy to interview.
Jeff McKee, you rock, bro.
Yeah, you rule. Hope you're on here. Let's see here. Who's the dude that winched the...
Plaza in Italy?
Yeah, I think he winched the plaza in Venice, and it got a really big kind of viral following, but I don't know who it was, and other guys have talked about doing it. I mean, I just heard about it. I haven't actually seen it myself.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I heard they went after him though. That is a question. Which state is the best looking girls and an ASU alum?
I would say Phoenix definitely has some of the best looking girls out of anywhere I've ever been.
Yeah,
For sure.
they're next level.
Next level.
Yeah. Let's see. You don't have to answer names, but they're riders that are a pain. Oh,
Definitely.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
riders that are a pain. No doubt about it.
Yeah, there are definitely riders that you can't get out of bed in the morning, that just don't understand the whole idea that if you're going to be a pro wakeboarder, you can't just be a contest rider. You can't just be a free rider. That's why Rusty Malinowski won Rider of the Year the past 2 years, because he's an ambassador of the sport. He shows up for photo shoots on time. He's an ambassador to all of his sponsors, and he's just a basic ambassador to the sport. And a lot of people don't understand that, and he does. So there are guys that don't. There are guys that are exactly opposite.
Jeff was on 2 nights ago. Right on, Jeff. You rock.
Was he?
Booyah. Phoenix rocks. Phoenix does rock. ASU rocks. Top 5 wakeboard movies. Well, Peg, since you're an ASU alum, I don't know how old you are, but if you've been around, then you've probably seen Spray, Hit It, Mayday.
Legit.
3 my top favorite. And then last night, Rewritten, the Hyperlight video, definitely
It's up there.
is up there.
Yeah.
And then I really like, I like Transgression and Drive and a lot of the new videos. I mean, Relentless. I mean, those videos are great,
Honestly,
you know?
The Butter Effect, though, was probably one of the most, the best film cinematography-wise.
Yeah.
He shot the whole thing in 16 mil. It was amazing. Actually met Malinowski once. He was a grouch. Really?
Just a bad day, I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be a bad day. He's a great dude.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah. What about Push Process?
Yeah, Push Process was
anything
insane.
Justin Stevens puts his hand on is just
Very
amazing.
talented dude.
Yeah,
Very
that
talented
guy
dude.
Really. Push Process was cool because Oakley sent those guys to like 50 countries. I mean, nobody's ever done that before. So, I mean, the places that they went and rode, and the team and the athletes that they had on their team, like they have a killer team. So.
Aaron's got quite a few influences in life.
Who are your influences? I don't know.
In life.
Man. That's tough. I mean, we'll have to do a whole show on that.
In wakeboarding, they're all bad influences. Oh, no.
I mean, I've got a lot of good...
Aaron's got a photo list of top people that he wants to take photos of that I have a feeling they're pretty much influences in your life.
Well, there's
one being
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
He's number 1 on my list. The number 1 person on my list to take pictures of is Bill Murray. I'll read them for you guys. This is something people want to know, right? Maurice, you'll like this one. Let's see here.
There are some plus 40 riders, and Travis Moy just had him down at the boarding school. This lady's like 80 years old, and her husband
Really?
totally just wake skating, having a blast, like lip sliding the wake, just all smiles the whole time. I was just in the boat with Travis last weekend in Wisconsin, and he was telling me about this couple that came down to the school. They're in their like 60s or 70s, just out there killing it, having a blast.
That's amazing. It did win some awards. In fact, it won Video of the Year last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If there are...
She might not have been 80, but she was old.
You know, they do... I think, what's the league that does all the contests?
WWA?
Yeah,
What?
no, not the WWA.
The what?
What's the name of that? There's a bunch of contests that they do every year. The big ones that they pretty much take everyone.
Who?
The-
Like nationals and worlds and stuff?
No, like
What?
there's a whole nother tour.
Oh.
What the hell's the name of that tour? I know you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Anyways, we'll think of it. Let's see here. Can she do any inverts? No, I don't think she can.
I don't think she can do any inverts.
Yeah, the INT League. That's what we're thinking of.
Oh, yeah, INT, yeah.
I don't know if they have a... I think they do have a 40-plus league. I mean, basically like a Masters League, probably. I don't know.
Veterans? Masters?
Veterans, yeah. One or the other. You could... Hey, there's a contest out there for you.
Yeah, definitely.
You could enter a contest. Maybe not junior men's, but you could enter one. Who makes the best boards, and what do you ride? That's a tough question, man. It's such a matter of preference.
Every company's got a board for
Yeah.
a different style rider, different size rider, different. I mean,
Yeah.
Ronix, Looking Forest, Hyperlight. You can't go wrong with either one. Any of them. You know,
Any
they're
of
great boards.
Company's got the new flex boards, them and Slingshot. A lot of people
Yep.
like those.
Totally whole new feel on the water.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to get on a flex board, but just the way I watch some of the guys ride them and what I hear them say about them, they look and feel like a completely different ride.
Yeah.
It looks cool though.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a matter of preference, I think. Everybody out there is making good boards, but go to your local board shop and strap that shadow box on and see which one's the best for you. Amateur you should be looking at. Bob Sovin's still an amateur. Him and Who are other guys riding junior men's right now?
Jared
You know
Askew.
better. Yeah.
Jared Askew, an
He's
Australian rider, really,
killer.
really good. Jacob Valdez, insane.
I've shot with Jared and Jacob in the past 2 or 3 months, and both of them kill it. Jacob,
Steele Lafferty.
yeah, Steele.
Like,
I've shot with him
Steele
too.
Lafferty
Yeah.
is gonna be
Yeah.
one to watch for sure. That kid
Kid
kills
goes big,
it.
man. He
Kills
goes
it.
really big. Jacob Valdez is one of the best styles I've ever seen.
I would
Hands
say
down.
top four amateurs would be Bob, Steele, Jacob, and Jared.
Yeah, I think that's
Those
a good
four.
call. Yeah. That's solid. I think a lot of people will agree with that. What other countries have sick riders? Well, Australia, New Zealand, of course, Canada, and South America, man.
Yeah, South
Brazilian
America has
and
some sick
Argentinian
riders.
Yeah,
Really cool.
I think they're probably right in line with Australia and New Zealand. Who's the funniest boarder to hang out with? It's a tough one. Dano the Mano? He's not a wakeboarder, though.
Bob Sovin is probably
Bob's
one of the
a funny
funniest
kid.
kids. Eric Ruck's funny dude.
Eric is hilarious. He was a riot last
Chris
night.
O'Shea is a funny guy.
O'Shea, he's so heady.
Who else?
Man, I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny boarders definitely to hang out with for sure.
That's a tough question. Eddie Valdez is also great. Should have seen him jump a Brostock. I heard Brostock was a good time. Everybody's been talking about it. I heard everybody got arrested though. So, who's the best boat driver? Hey, Ryan's a pretty good boat driver.
Towboat driver number one, Travis Moy.
Travis
You
Moy's
can't really knock the guy, man. I mean, that's what he gets paid to do, you know.
Travis
Drive
is
a
the
boat.
best. And then who else?
I'm a close second though. I think I can hold my own when it comes to driving a boat.
Definitely. Rattray. Can't forget Rattray.
Yeah, Rattray's a good boat driver.
Rattray's towboat driver number 2. Gotta ask, who's the drunkest rider?
I have no idea who the drunkest rider is.
Yeah, that's tough.
There's definitely a handful of them hung over on the dock the next day.
Yeah. There are some I've never seen sober in any setting. Haha. Yeah, we could probably call some people out, but we're not going to. All right. Wakefest type of event. I think that they try to do all events family friendly. I think Wakefest is the exception. That's the one that's not. But I don't know. I mean, contests and events are such a. Hopefully we have more of them. Hopefully they get better. It's tough now because there's not sponsors can't put up the money for them. But I think most of them are family friendly.
Brostock's definitely a party.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to be bringing your kids to Brostock.
I
don't
mean,
know.
That's a beast in itself.
That's a whole nother animal. It's it's like the old board stock days. It's just a one huge party.
Yeah. Thanks for your time. Hey, thanks a lot, Maurice, man. You're the man.
Yeah, thanks, Maurice. You're the man.
Yeah, I think we're going to take off too. It's getting late, and we got to get up and shoot in the morning. So,
thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was fun. Maurice will probably call. Stop.